Greetings, palace scribes. The regular guy pulled a muscle trying to wrestle that failure of an ISIS policy into submission. So you get me. Now we're getting close to the deal of all deals, the agreement that will enshrine the president in the pantheon of peacebringers. That's right, the path to a nuclear-free Iran is nearly paved. I bet the foundries in Oslo are busy filling the mold for Nobel 2, the return of the one. He's even been practicing the old pose. Okay, Bob, get us started. You want to know when the signing ceremony is going to be, am I right?
There's basically a week until this new self-imposed deadline for coming to some kind of final agreement. Can you update us on that?
Certainly, Bob. The First Lady will be wearing some designer none of you have ever heard of or can afford, and the President, he'll be wearing his trademark smirk.
You realize that could very well slide a few days or a couple days.
The President is perfectly willing to do the electric slide, the Macarena, or any other dance. I mean, he's got some fancy footwork. He's willing to kowtow, capitulate, or remove any trace of a vestigial spine. We're doing this deal no matter how long it takes. All right, Jim, what you got for me?
You had previously suggested that the Supreme Leader's position was in part an attempt to deal with the domestic policy or the domestic politics in Iran.
Hold on there, buddy. I think you're confusing me with the president's full-time designated liar, the hilariously incongruently named Josh Earnest. I am nowhere near deluded enough to believe that. Khamenei is serious as a heart attack. But go ahead, finish your question.
We're just a few days away from a final deal, and he has not backed off. In fact, may even hardened his position on the sanctions having to be lifted immediately and issues of inspections of military facilities and so forth. Is that position hardening? Is it making it much more difficult for you guys to reach an agreement?
Not in the slightest. There is nothing the Supreme Leader could say or do that's going to stop the president from giving him anything he demands. It's kind of like a game we play. You know, we make a bunch of unfounded, basically ridiculous claims about the deal we got, and then Khamenei starts tweeting it's all a bunch of BS. All in good fun. Okay, now that I'm loosened up, Major Garrett, give me a fastball.
Secretary of State Kerry said it really isn't important any longer to achieve a deal with Iran that it need to disclose fully its previous attempts militarily to obtain a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, they did kind of tell us to pound sand on that one.
That appears to be a significant concession.
Absolutely. But let me be clear. The president will make whatever concessions are required, capitulate in every possible way, offer any inducement necessary. Ballistic missiles? Sure, why not? Enrichment? Go right ahead. Did I mention he'll do anything? Seriously. Okay, let's hear from the token member of the vast right-wing conspiracy, James Rosen of Fox News.
You were just discussing with us the prospects that the talks may extend beyond the June 30 deadline for some limited period of time, and certainly recent history bears that out as a valid prospect.
You think?
Can you at least assure the American people that if a final deal is reached, it will in fact be final? That is to say, the final deal will not contain within it, with respect to any particular component, parameters that are to be fleshed out further in further negotiation after the inking of the so-called final deal.
Yeah. You are a kidder, James, and you nailed it with that so-called deal bit. I mean, the Iranians are not about to agree to any conditions that actually stop them from building a bomb. So once we ink this final deal, we'll keep throwing cash and prizes at them, trying to put some lipstick on this pig. Then we're going to need all of your help to try and spin this past the American people and the Congress. All right, I got to scoot. Marie Harf needs some help loading those pallets of cash on the State Department plane heading to Tehran.